Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the final weekend, Stephen, of River State's Conference regular season baseball here at Cutter Sports Complex. My name is Kyle Hawkins. Alongside me is Stephen Newt. Stephen, how's things going today?
It's a good day for baseball. Weather's cleared out, and we're ready to wrap up the regular season.
Absolutely, as the Grenadiers host IU Columbus in their final regular season conference series. Coming into today, the Crimson Pride of IU Columbus are 10-37 overall and 2-19 in conference. Your Grenadiers are 25-15, where they are now 17-4 in conference play. So opportunity, especially if you're scoreboard watching this weekend, as IU Kokomo has fallen in their first game to Midway. If the Grenadiers take care of business, they will secure the number one overall seed in the regular season. That would set them up to host that first play-in round of the River State's Conference postseason tournament extravaganza, however you want to call it, Steve.
Yeah, so it'll be a big weekend for the Grenadiers to wrap up that number one seed and know that they're hosting here next weekend, most likely Point Park, and get to see the Pioneers one more time before they head to Chillicothe.
Yep. And on the mound, game one for IU Southeast is Luke Schaefer. Schaefer coming into today having a strong season thus far. This will be his 12th start. Has an even 3 ERA, 6-2 in those appearances across 69 innings. He does have a nice little 74-20 strikeout to walk ratio. And he's really been the ace of this Grenadier staff, Stephen.
Yeah, he's really been the workhorse and has started off weekend series well.
And Wyatt Sutton's going to put the first ball he sees in play. And a nice play on the run from Cody Putnam will retire him. So one pitch and one out for Luke Schaefer, and we are underway.
Yeah, that's exactly what Schaefer wants. When he's struggled this year, it usually has been in early in games. So if he can get through a quick first inning here, that bodes well for him throughout the rest of tonight.
Absolutely. That'll bring up the designated hitter, number 28, Lucas Slauger. He's going to put his first ball in play, but that will be foul. And into the resident pond down there in foul territory on the warning track.
You don't see a lot of water hazards on baseball fields, but there is one down the left field line here today.
And that one also going to get through the hole this time, unable to make the plays, Ethan Burdett, as the Crimson Pride have their first base runner of the afternoon.
Seeing I single there for Slager and one out base runner for the Crimson Pride.
Brings up the shortstop, Peyton Blinn. Set the defense for the Grenadiers. Left to right in the outfield is what you've seen a lot this year. You have Colin Long in left, Mason White in center, Luke Powell in right. And then around your infield is Slater Shield, Cody Putnam on the left side with Ethan Burdett and Max Flock on the right. And first pitch swinging is Blinn, and that's going to be hit right out there to Colin Long as he'll make the play for out number 2. The battery mate with Schaefer today is Luke Murphy. Makes way for the Crimson Pride left fielder John Codner.
Crimson Pride very aggressive here to start this game. A lot of first pitch swinging.
And that, a little research probably done by Scott Bickle and staff, as you know, as you said, Stephen, some of the struggles that Schaefer has had have really been early on, and it's been by some of the teams that really just tried to ambush him. Right? I think Brescia is the one that comes to mind for us, as that was, home series, and we just saw them really just jump all over him. As that one misses low, and a good snap throw by Murphy, but Slauger back in plenty of time. As I believe it is 2-0.
I thought he called it a strike, but maybe I'm wrong.
We'll see. Roger will correct us if we're wrong. So 2-0. That one's fouled out of play. So you've already seen Sutton, Slauger, and Blinn. Here is Codner, followed by Ross, Fee, Guire, Martin, and rounding out the Crimson Pride lineup is the center fielder Barker. So a lot of young faces for IUC. As that one is going to miss high, and I believe you were right. The count was.
It was 1-2. Now
that
2-2.
one ball was called a strike,
Yep.
so it is an even count. IUC in just their second year of existence, so Scott Bickle and company doing a lot of construction in the last couple years, obviously. That one cut on and missed, strike 3. So Schaefer works around I believe it was a 2-out single, and strand that runner at first. So we'll head to the bottom half here. Grenadiers looking to strike first in the bottom in New Albany. Ethan Burdett set to lead off for IU Southeast. And he'll watch first pitch in there. Called strike by the righty junior from Columbus, Indiana, Casper Clark. Be your starting pitcher for IU Columbus. Steven, do you have his line?
Oh, that drops in a strike, 0-2. Let's see here. Casper 0-2 on the season with a 5.89 ERA and 18 and a third innings pitched. He's got 12 strikeouts, just 4 walks, so pretty good control.
As that one will make its way to the backstop.
Perfect timing as I say that. And he does have an opponent batting average of 307.
Yeah, Casper has a pretty low three-quarter kind of slinging arm slot. Comes across his body quite significantly, so not the easiest at-bat for a right-hander. As Burdett's going to cue ball that one to Ross at first, and he'll make the play in plenty of time. So that'll be leadoff man retired for the Grenadiers and makes way for the always dangerous Mason White. I think we're at the point in the season, Stephen, where we can really start talking about the possibilities of Mason being in the conversation for the Conference Player of the Year.
Oh, 100%. He's had a great year and in all facets, really.
And we'll watch the first one there for a strike as Mason comes into this one hitting an even .420, leads the team in almost every statistical offensive category with 63 hits, 14 homers, 56 RBIs, and he's going to get hit by a pitch there. Just his first of the year. That's the one thing he's not leading the team in, is hit by pitches, but he'll take it on any way he can because he's not leading the team in stolen bases, but he is second with 15. So definitely a possibility to see him take off, as that'll bring up the right fielder, Luke Powell. We'll see a throw over, but back in plenty of time.
And I think that's maybe the underrated thing about Mason White's game is he can steal bases for as big as he is and as much power as he has. He's also a threat on the base paths.
Very agile.
Yep. And has been really, I would say, a Gold Glove defender in center field as well.
Absolutely. That one's going to be fat out of play by Powell. I'll set the defense for IU Columbus for you. Going left to right in the outfield is Codner, Barker, and Fee. And then around your infield, starting third baseman is Barker, Blinn at short, Sutton at second, and Jared Ross at first. As the 0-1 pitch. That one's hit sharply to Sutton at second. He'll make the play, and that's going to be a 4-6-3 double play. So good job by Casper Clark to work around the hit by pitch, and the Grenadiers go in order here in the bottom of the first. So we'll head to the top of the second. No score at the Cutter Sports Complex here in New Albany, Indiana. It'll be Jared Ross leading things off for the Crimson Pride. Ross comes in batting .238, does have 25 RBIs and 3 long balls to his name. So one of the candidates of this Crimson Pride lineup to be able to beat you with his power, Stephen.
And we'll see again, it'll be interesting to see how aggressive they are throughout the game here. Because you're on the one hand, you're right. I think ambushing Schaefer is the way to kind of get ahead and scratch across some runs, particularly early. But so far, they've really been able to play into his hands a little bit, I would say.
Yeah, I think Schaef's looking sharp early as getting some weak contact, as that's another candidate there. We ground out to Burdett at second. So makes way for the right fielder, Colin Fee, the senior from Mishawaka, Indiana. That group of the first seniors for IU Columbus, which is something that I think is probably really unique and a neat situation that they get to deal with up there, Steve.
Right, to kind of lay the foundation for this program moving forward and have that moment as the first senior group to go through. It's a big weekend for them, and a big weekend here, particularly for Schaefer in his final regular season start here at home.
And 3 pitches and 3 strikes as Fee will go down swinging. So the good start continues for Schaefer, as that'll make way now for the catcher, Ethan Guire. Kokomo, Indiana native. You have a Kokomo, Indiana native where what a snare by Shield, as he'll make the throw over in plenty of time. An absolute web gem from the senior third baseman, as maybe later I'll make the funny comparison between him being from Kokomo, playing at Columbus, and then playing against Southeast. But we'll head to the bottom of the second. Still no score here in New Albany. Cody Putnam, the shortstop, lead things off as Grenadiers still looking for their first hit as they retired in order by the way of double play in the first. Good job by Casper Clark to work around the hit by pitch. Unable to get ahead here as Putnam start this off ahead in the count. Cody coming into today, hitting .286, 3 bombs, 23 RBIs, and that's going to be an extra base hit as that's down the line. On his horse is Putnam, and he'll be cruising into second with a leadoff double.
Good start here for the Grenadiers, and a nice piece of hitting there by Putnam to lace that one down the line. And now IU Southeast already has a runner in scoring position here in the second.
And brings up the only person on this Grenadier team that's, as of late, probably been about as hot as Mason, which is Logan Murphy. Murphy's really found his offensive game in the last couple weeks, as he was one of the only shining spots in last weekend's series against Kokomo when it comes to offense. And he's going to possibly square it a sack bunt. It's going to get down and foul. So.
An interesting choice here to go with a bunt early, but again, we've seen that throughout the year. The Grenadiers not afraid to manufacture runs early in games to get ahead.
Not at all. Saying he's going to show early again. See if maybe he tries to pull back and slash, or is going to try to get down. That's a true bunt attempt all the way, but he pulls back, and that'll even things up at 1-1. Murphy does have, looks like, 3 sack bunts on the year, so not his first time going this route. I will say, as of late, you've seen a lot less of the small ball from the Grenadiers, but it definitely is still a part of their arsenal, as you're seeing here. That one's going to get down and foul again.
Well, and I think it'll be interesting, too, looking ahead, once the Grenadiers get to Chillicothe playing on the turf and the speed that they have in the lineup, you can get some bunts down, put some pressure on the defense that way as well. We haven't seen that a lot in the past. Usually it's been home run after home run after home run in that bandbox, but you can also place the ball in different places as well.
1-2 pitch upcoming to Murphy, as Casper looks and deals. And a good job by Murphy to stay alive. And like you said, Stephen, that one thing that is, I'd say, nice for IU Columbus in this 1-year stopgap of a postseason situation is everyone makes the postseason this year. Now they, of course, will have to face off in a series to make their way into the final site. That one's grounded and off the glove of Blinn, so that's going to get through the 6-hole. And a good effort by Blinn, but just off the tip of his glove in his backhand side. So that'll be another hit for the Grenadiers, and they got runners on the corners, nobody out.
A little slow roller in the hole there. Tough play there by the shortstop, Blinn.
And we'll have Alex Yurt courtesy running at first base. But, as I was saying, we're split into 2 divisions, right, this year for baseball. There's 2 16 divisions, an East and a West. The Grenadiers have secured their spot in one of those top 2 that are automatically to the final site, as good job by Yurt's going to get in there in time. Strong throw from Guire, but stolen base nonetheless for Yurty. But the Grenadiers into the final site, and those 3 through 6 will cross divisions, and so the 3 will play the 6 from the East and then versus the West, and then all the way through. And the winner of those, the 4 series, make their way or win their way to Chillicothe in that final site. That'll join the top 4 seeds in the entire conference, which the whole process is confusing, yes. So if you have any questions, I would say to go check out the River States Conference website, as Max Flock is going to go down swinging there for the first out.
Well, and I think we're going from a convoluted bracket. Traditionally, if you ever were a fan of River State's Conference baseball before, and you saw at a time 3 different brackets listed,
and last year we used them all.
And we used them all. It's very confusing. This is maybe a little less confusing, but still maybe not the most straightforward thing.
And we'll try to continue to talk about it through this weekend, as hefty hack there from Colin Long will even things up at 1-1. But yeah, so you have 8 teams at the final site this year rather than the traditional 6 the River States has usually had. And you also have both bids, both automatic qualifiers for the national tournament coming out of the conference tournament rather than the regular season getting one as well. That one inside a little bit, but nips the corner enough for home plate umpire. So it'll be 1-2.
So essentially the two teams that make the championship game earn the automatic bids to the national tournament, and then they play a 1 game for the championship.
That one's in off the hands a little bit, but flown out there to left, and that's going to be deep enough to score him, so that'll be a sacrifice fly for Colin Long, and the Grenadiers are on the board first.
Nice job there by Long, not to do too much, just gets the ball there deep enough and
his 21st RBI of the year. And that'll bring up the designated hitting slugger for IU Southeast, Trevor Goodwin. Clark doing a good job to try to minimize, as running on second, third, no one out. Does get 2 outs, and I think he'd probably take the minimized if he is able to keep it to 1 run.
Definitely, if you're going to get runners at second and third with only 1 out and only give up a run, you're going to take that, especially with this offense.
As that one's hit down the line, it's going to be a tough play in left and not going to get there. So that'll be extra bases for Trevor Goodwin. And Goody's in there with a sliding double, and that'll be another RBI, and the Grenadiers' lead expands to 2.
Little opposite field action there for Goodwin into left field, and he legs out a double. So just like that, the bottom of this lineup scratches across a couple of runs for IU Southeast.
That was really just a good piece of hitting right there, Steven. I mean, lefty on righty, just outside pitch, didn't try to do too much with it, just took it the other way for extra bases. That'll be a good breaking ball, missed low and outside to Shield. As you're seeing, especially when he faces righties, you're seeing a heavy dose of that breaking ball from Casper Clark. 1-0 pitch to Slater. That one's smoked. Is it going to get down? It will. And it's misplayed out there in center, but Goodwin was going to score anyway, so that's going to be a RBI 2-out single for Slater Shield, and the Grenadiers aren't going away.
Just keep the line moving. That's what Shield does, turns the lineup over, drives in a run, and now Burdett will have a shot.
Grenadiers known to kind of be a little cardiac when it comes to 2 outs. They love to stay alive.
I'd say that's the one thing that's actually been fairly consistent throughout the season is they've had a lot of success with 2 outs, even from the beginning of the year. Been able to put together some 2-out rallies and either taken leads in games or put games away because of it.
And that's going to be a balk, so Slater was off and running, and kind of everyone was yelling step off, and as a pitcher, that's one of those things where you need them to say it, but you hate when they do say it because it kind of – so that'll go BK in the stats program for you, Stephen, on the runner, as that'll move Shield to second. And so count still 0-1 to Burdett, but now runner in scoring position. That one's hit high out in center. Should be caught, and it is. So Grenadiers able to scratch 3 across here two of them with 2 outs as they take the first lead of the game, and we'll head to the top of the third. IU Southeast 3, IUC 0 here in New Albany. Austin Martin gets his first shot here, and that one will be fouled back as the Crimson Pride sticking to their early offensive approach. So he's going to attack the first pitch. That'll be an offensive conference charge to him, as instead of letting the pitch clock try to expire, Martin decides to call time and uses one of their conferences. One of those funky little rules that came with the pace of play surge.
And I will be the first to admit I thought all the pace of play stuff was a little overblown when they got instituted, particularly this level. And it's been remarkable how much quicker these games have moved.
Yeah, good 0-2 pitch. Says he does not go, so a good job there by Martin to check his swing. As an absolute hammer of a breaking ball there by Schaefer. Yeah, and I think one of the things that I would say could be revisited, even though it's probably a little unnecessary, as that one's going to be strike 3 looking. Good command fastball there by Schaefer. And that'll bring up number 14 now, Barker. But as I was saying, Stephen, because, I think it was either the year before or 2 years before they instituted the pitch clock at the college level, they instituted the limit on visits, right? I think there's the argument to be made that with the pitch clock, you don't need that now. As that one's going to catch him on the toe, and that couldn't have felt good. As it's going to be a hit batter by Schaefer, and that one's going to sting. So IUC will have a base runner as they turn the lineup over to Wyatt Sutton, who not even just in the conference but nationally is one of the best speed threats that there are, especially in our region, as Sutton has himself 18 stolen bags on the year. And last year I think was in the top 5 in the entire NAIA in stolen bases, so definitely somebody you know that's got some speed.
Yeah, this is definitely the guy you want to keep off the base paths if you're Schaefer and the Grenadiers. But
and I mean, it'll be interesting to see how that affects Barker.
Right.
As, I mean, he's right there with Sutton with 16. One of the staples of the offense of Coach Scott Bickle is they're going to run when they get on. And the lead's still pretty aggressive for Barker, so that foot must not be feeling too bad. First pitch fouled back. Yeah, as a team, they've stolen 114 bags, Stephen, which is right up there at the tops in the country.
Yeah, I thought that was a misprint when I was looking at the stats yesterday, but and that's one of those things. I would say you're building a program. You want to find one thing that you're really going to excel at, and stolen base is not a bad thing to worry about. Okay, we're going to get a lot of speedsters, and we're going to put pressure on a defense.
And there he goes. As a good throw by Murphy. Got him. Strong throw as they go for the fake bunt steal, and it's not going to work for them. As a strong throw by Murphy and a great tag out there by Putnam will cut down the runner, as it's now 1-2 with 2 outs and nobody on for Wyatt Sutton.
And, really, the play there, great job by Putnam to snag that and get the tag on as he's kind of going past the runner there. A nice athletic play by the shortstop.
That one weakly grounded to Putnam, and he'll get another opportunity to throw out Sutton, and he does. So we'll work around the hit by pitch as IUC did in the first inning. Schaefer's able to here as we'll head to the bottom of the third. Score remains 3-0 IU Southeast. Mason White will lead off for IU Southeast in the bottom of the third, as the Grenadiers will look to get the offense rolling again after striking for 3 in the previous inning. Really looking to keep the foot on the gas and try to expand this lead as much as possible and get to the Columbus bullpen as early as they can. Good eye from White as that one misses just low. That one inside almost caught a piece of Mason again. As not only is he hitting above 400, he's right around that 500 on-base percentage mark as well, Steven. So even though it feels like he gets hits every time he goes up to bat, he will work a count. Obviously, will get hit by a pitch for the first time today anyway. He's really kind of completed his game in his senior campaign. 3-0 pitch from Clark. That one room service, but he'll watch that for strike one.
Well, and I think, again, all these other schools have internet. They can look at a scouting report and see, okay, this is the guy we don't want to mess with, and he's been pitched around a little bit. And
that one's hit well, but I think it's going to get fouled down the left field line, and it is, because I think you're right there, Stephen. Whenever I was playing, we would go through the lineup, and it's like you circled. A lot of times it's one guy, maybe two, but I mean, Mason's definitely the guy in this Grenadier lineup that you're circling. Like, other people are gonna beat you, and they will, but he cannot. As that one's hit hard, and a good snare there by Sutton to make a nice spinning play to retire White. So a leadoff man retired for Columbus, as that will bring up Luke Powell now with 1 out.
Nice play there by Sutton, going to his left, getting to the ball, but then setting his feet and making a good throw because, again, White has some speed. That's not a slow runner down the line there. So he didn't rush the throw, made a good throw, and retired the slugger for IU Southeast.
That one's fouled straight back. And one of the things that's interesting to note that's different from the last time that we saw them last year is both middle infielders return for IUC, but they flip positions now, as last year Sutton was their shortstop and Blinn played a ton of second base. Not quite sure if this has been a regular thing all year, but obviously as they come into this weekend, that is what we will get from the Crimson Pride. And I don't think it's bothered Sutton at all. He's already made quite a few, or a couple, really nice plays early. Two 2-1 pitch upcoming to Luke Powell. He'll hack at that. Fouled out of play into the soon-to-be walking trail that connects Floyd, Clark County all the way up to Mitchell, Indiana. So it's going to go right by our campus, Stephen. The 2-2. That one's smoked, and that's off of him. And a good play by Blinn to recover, but that's going to cause the trainer to come out and take a look because that was absolutely smoked right off of Casper Clark.
That was a rocket back to Clark there, and a nice job by the shortstop there, Blinn, to stay with that ball.
I mean, bounce right to him. I mean, the untraditional 1-6-3 put out. But, I mean, I don't know if Luke Powell could have caught that more on the sweet spot, as that was smoked. He initially kind of waved off Coach Bickle, so he at least initially appears to be okay, but maybe after he gets back in the dugout after this inning, if he's able to stay in and the adrenaline maybe wears off, that one's going to sting and swell up for sure.
Yeah, I don't think Powell could have hit that any cleaner there.
And an unfortunate bounce for Powell. I mean, like you said, went right to Blinn, and he's able to stay with it. And, I mean, it was hit so hard and ricocheted so hard. I mean, Blinn had plenty of time, and Powell's not slow by any means. So.
That was almost, if you hadn't really been looking, that was, he just hit a one-hopper to the shortstop. No, that was a liner off the pitcher to the shortstop.
Yeah, I mean, Clark is lucky enough to have that catch the meat of his body. I've been on the wrong end of one of those that catches you in the forehead, and that's not a good day.
We don't advise that, no.
Not at all. He looks like he's at least going to stay in here for now. So Cody Putnam will get another opportunity here. Nobody on. 2 outs for IU Southeast. That one in there for a strike. So Clark right back to it. Didn't get shaken too much, I guess. Good change up there. Has Putnam out in front, and he's ahead 0-2. See, the Grenadiers can extend the inning and have a little bit of their 2-out magic. That one hit high, and that's going to be out to center. So Barker there to make the catch. So they will go down in order as we'll head to the top of the 4th. After a third of this one done, Grenadiers lead at 3-0. It'll be the designated hitter, Lucas Slogger, leading off for IU Columbus. Healthy hack of that first pitch as he'll swing through it. He had certain intentions with that swing, Stephen.
Wanted to send that one over in those trees beyond the right field fence.
Slogger is the leading average hitter for IUC. 362 coming into today. Does have 55 hits. Is also their team leader in RBIs, 35. Has a couple long balls, so that swing probably could have done it if he connected, but that one's going to be squibbed in right. Good play there by the third base coach.
That was the most nonchalant bare hand.
Didn't have to move it all right to him.
It was like, who was that, Jake Ottinger the other night? With the
paddle save.
Yeah, I'm just going to stand here and stick my stick out.
Had no interest in trying to save it.
Not moving at all.
So the 2-2 pitch from Schaefer. Cut on and missed. A good changeup. And that's another strikeout for Schaefer, as now the shortstop Peyton Blinn will get his second crack at him.
And Schaefer, very conservative pitch count so far. Only 31 pitches here as we enter the fourth, so he's done a good job. Very economical.
So after his pitch count gets jacked up this inning, that one's on you.
Yep, that's on me. I'll wear it.
Breaking ball in the dirt for the first pitch. Second one is the same. Blinn also one of the RBI leaders on this team, as he's just a pair behind Slogger with 33 instead of 35. And Blinn finds himself ahead in the count, 3-1. That one right back to Schaefer. Off his glove, and Blinn's booking it, but a nonchalant play from Schaefer still gets him in time. As, not going to lie, that's honestly a sign of maturity from Schaefer, as that's something that especially last year he struggled with some of those, PFP-type plays and maybe trying to get a little too amped up and rush. And, I mean, he couldn't have seemed more disinterested in making that play, but he did in plenty of time. So maybe he's got something figured out, as that one chopped up the middle. Going to take a strong throw from Putnam, and he gets it. Codner, first pitch swinging, and he's frustrated. Get a little helmet throw down the right field line. But we'll head to the bottom of the fourth after a couple good plays, and the last one, a doozy by Putnam to send us to the bottom of the fourth. Grenadiers still lead 3-0.
For the Grenadiers, the catcher, number 21,
So we have a lineup change for the Crimson Pride as number 44, Avery Seegers, will come in the place of Martin, but he will go to first, and Jared Ross moves from first to third. And first pitch off the hands of Murphy, and a PFP there for Casper Clark. So 1 pitch and 1 out as the right-hander is back out, and must be feeling perfectly fine after the comebacker, as he's been efficient since.
And he's definitely going to take first pitch swinging, first pitch outs there, so that'll definitely help him feel a little bit better. Missed inside there to Flock, 1-0.
Flock struck out, left a couple runners on in his first at-bat. Healthy swing there. One thing I think we've learned about Flock as we're coming to the end of the regular season has been one of the more streaky style hitters for the Grenadiers. And, I mean, when he's on, he's one of the best they got. But he will go through some of those lulls where it seems like he's just really struggling to figure it out. But even in those times, still does put together some pretty productive at-bats. And
well, I mean, this is a guy who was River State's Conference Player of the Week earlier in the year. So when he's hot, he's very, very hot. So
he's a seasoned vet as well.
Yes.
So he's seen a thing or two and knows a thing or two. That one, change up, strike 3, and that's going to be flipped down. So second strikeout of the day for Flock. And, I mean, Clark's done a really good job battling back after giving up the 3 spot. As first pitch swing in, good effort there by Blinn, but nowhere in time is going to be, and no throw even, as Long busting down the line. So that'll be an infield hit for Colin Long. And the Grenadiers are not going to go away with 2 outs here.
Well, and I think he's doing exactly what Scott Bickle and the coaching staff would want. You're keeping the Crimson Pride in this game here. It's only a 3-0 game. So you're not giving up any really big innings, limiting the damage. And as we get in the middle innings, the Crimson Pride still have a chance here.
Designated hitter Trevor Goodwin. And a double down the left field line, his first at-bat. See if we see Colin Long on the move, trying to get into scoring position.
Because I'm certain that the game plan here for the Grenadiers was we want to jump out on this team early. They're 10-37. You don't want to let a team like this hang around and get more confidence as you go along.
Especially the style of baseball they play. They're a very scrappy team, so
yes.
you let a team like that hang around, they're liable to put up a crooked number and make things really interesting, especially as you get later in the game. So 1-0 count to Trevor Goodwin. That one's hit well into the right center gap, and that's going to burn the fielders. And it's going to one-hop the fence. And Colin Long on his horse, and he's going to score easily. It's going to be a triple opportunity for Trevor Goodwin, and he's up there standing. So the first ever stand-up triple in Trevor Goodwin's life, as he will take it any way he gets it. An absolute smoked shot that just split the outfielders, and I don't know for what reason they were playing Trevor Goodwin that far in with the right fielder, but he takes advantage of it. As I'll give him I'll joke with him a little bit later after the game on that one, but he'll take the triple.
Yeah, he didn't have stand-up triple on his bingo card today.
And because of the triple, that's an RBI hit with 2 outs by Slater Shield. And, I mean, quickly, just like that, first 2 guys retired. Grenadiers strike for 2 with 2 outs, and they're still going as the lineup turns over.
And, again, this bottom of the order cashes in again with 2 outs.
They have done they've been responsible for all 5 of the Grenadier runs so far today. And Burdett would like to try to get in on the action a little bit. Good move, quick feet there from Clark, but Shield back in plenty of time, as Shield always a stolen base threat for the Grenadiers. Leads the team with 21 successful attempts. So Grenadiers out to a 5-0 lead now. Would love to keep the 2-out rally going, and off goes Shield. They were ready for it, but the throw by Guire pulled and off the glove of Sutton, and that's going to be an error on the catcher to allow him to move up another base. Everyone, I think, kind of knew it, and Burdett didn't even think about swinging. I believe it was a strike, or was it a?
It was a ball.
It was a ball. Oh, well, I thought that crossed the plate, but I'm not the umpire today, Stephen. The throw. He was ready to throw. Kind of popped up quick and just kind of yanked the throw a little bit, and Sutton unable to corral it. As now, that one's going to be grounded to Ross over at third, and the 2-out threat will end there, but the Grenadiers are going to strike for 2 as we head to the top of the 5th. Now, your IU Southeast Grenadiers leading 5-0. It'll be the now third baseman, Jared Ross, for IUC. Hefty hack at that one as a fun little story. I ran into Jared Ross this past summer as I was watching 2 of my friends play in a slow pitch softball tournament, and I can tell you what, that hefty swing that he just took there translates to softball, as I saw him hit some absolute tanks this past summer. As you don't know who you're going to run into around the state of Indiana.
I didn't know where that story was going, so that
Jared Ross finds himself behind the count, 1 and 2.
Bombs and slow pitch softball, looking for a bomb here.
Yeah, good change up there, but better take by Ross as he doesn't bite to even the count at 2 and 2. Good breaking ball. And snared by Burdett, throwing plenty of time. Not the easiest of plays for the second baseman, as he kind of had to pick that on a short hop, but he does successfully to retire the leadoff man for the Crimson Pride. Colin Fee gets another opportunity in this one. Checks his swing, so he starts his count ahead. Big swing and a miss. Colin Fee still looking for his first hit of the year. Only his 8th plate appearance, so not a lot of time for the Crimson Pride. That one's fouled off. The home plate umpire caught a good piece of his shin guard. but that's why you wear them, Stephen.
Roger hanging in back there. Here on Tuesday, back here this weekend.
It's been a while since we'd seen Roger. Now we're getting a double dose in the same week.
That's right.
1-2, strike three. A good, strong fastball from Schaefer. Gets Colin Fee down looking.
Just paints the corner there, and great strike three pitch there from Schaefer. He's locked in today.
So a couple quick outs for Schaefer as he'll face the Crimson Pride catcher, Ethan Guire. First pitch swinging. That one's going to be snared there by Flock. Good PFP, and that's going to be 3 up, 3 down, as that I thought for sure was trouble, as that's a tough play for the first baseman. He'll make the flip to Schaefer, and we'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Grenadiers still lead this one 5-0. Casper Clark back out for IUC, and a quiet bullpen for the Crimson Pride. So head coach Scott Bickle sticking with the junior Columbus native. And that one smoked down the right field line, and that should be extra bases for Mason White. And he'll cruise into second with a leadoff double as he'll find his first hit of the day, and that one blistered down the line. And I mean, off the glove of Seeger, but that's no error on that one.
No, that's
for sure.
That's an absolute rocket. I mean, if you're the first baseman over there, Seegers, you're hoping you can knock that one down.
Yeah, you're trying to play goalie at that point, and unfortunately, he did not have the same luck as Jake Ottinger did the other day. And Seegers also looked more interested in trying to knock that one down.
And he doesn't have the pads and everything either, so he did the best he could under the circumstances.
And, you know, as we get to the lovely time of day here at Cutter Sports Complex, very tough sun for anyone on the right side of the field, but specifically the first baseman, as they're staring down the barrel of a big ball of fire in the sky, and makes things really difficult. So, all to say, leadoff double for White, and that'll make way for Luke Powell as he finds himself ahead in the count 1-0. That one's hit well to left field, giving chase, and makes the catch. What a play out and left by Codner, and they're going to double off White. Now, that's one heck of a play out there by John Codner and left. I thought that one was extra bases and down for sure. So, what looks like a promising threat for the Grenadiers now turns to nobody out or nobody on and 2 outs.
That's a great play there in left field by Codner to get over, make the catch, hang on, and then get the ball back in quickly enough to double up White there at second.
That one's hit well. I don't know if Codner's going to have enough room, and I think he actually is. So off the bat, I thought that one was gone. I was wrong. So Codner does a great job in that inning to account for a couple outs, and good bounce back from Casper Clark as we'll head to the 6th inning. Score remains 5-0 Grenadiers. Avery Seegers will get his first at-bat after being a substitution. And first pitch from Schaefer is outside for ball 1. See if Schaefer can get back in the zone, as haven't seen him fall behind too many guys like that. And now it's 3-0, so gonna have to strap in to try to battle back against Avery Seegers. Ooh, a gracious call there. Schaefer will take it. So I had that one a little bit outside, Steven.
Same.
That one cut on and missed. That one a much better pitch, and able to run the count full. Cut on and missed. A great job there by Schaefer to battle back and retires Seegers down swinging.
He throws 3 pretty much uncompetitive pitches and then he gets a gracious call, and you're right, 2 really nice back-to-back pitches there to get the strikeout. That's well done by Schaefer.
Yeah, brings up the center fielder Brevin Barker. One of the speed catalysts in this lineup, as Coach Scott Bickle goes with the traditional your 9 holes like a second leadoff type situation. That's going to be lofted to left, and they're in plenty of times calling long. So Schaefer retires the first 2 he sees here in the 6th, and the lineup turns over for Wyatt Sutton.
And again, okay, if you're Schaefer, you've got the first 2 outs here in the 6th. This is not the guy you want on to continue the inning here with all of his speed.
And the Crimson Pride leader in RBIs on deck. And that one's going to get through the right side. So just as we talk about it, Sutton reaches first, and that will bring up Slogger. Slogger, the native of Kalamazoo, Michigan. New addition to the Crimson Pride this year, and has really done a good job in kind of the bulk of their lineup being their main run producer. We'll see with the speed of Sutton on first if he's off and running at any point in this at-bat. The 1-1 pitch. That one will miss low. Oh, a good snap throw. Kind of caught me off guard even. But Sutton was back in time. I don't think anybody was expecting that. I guess except for Max Flock, which is good that he was.
That would have ended badly if he wasn't.
And off on the pitch and chopping over into the 6 hole, but a good job by Burdett to come over and make the play. So good inning there by Schaefer. Works around the 2-out knock by Sutton. And Crimson Pride will remain scoreless as we'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Grenadiers lead 5-0. Casper Clark back out for another inning. And he'll face the Grenadier backstop, Logan Murphy. Murphy in his first at-bat tried to squirt a bunt a couple times, ended up not getting him down, which worked in their favor as he was able to get a base knock. Saw a little funky little sidearm arm slot there from Casper Clark, Steven.
And again, there's nobody warming in the bullpen. This is Clark's game, and he's really, yes, a couple of innings where he's given up some runs, but he's really hung in there against a potent Grenadier lineup, and done a nice job, particularly after taking a liner earlier in the contest.
Yeah, I'm wondering where it specifically got him.
Yeah, I'm not sure. If it was, that's hard.
That one's hit hard, but there is Codner, who will continue his good defense today. As that one, not the easiest of plays, is that one just kind of a little top spin line drive that was hit pretty well by Murphy.
I wonder if that hit him either up, like around the hip or the upper leg.
I saw him maybe looking at one of his arms, so maybe on his glove hand somewhere. So because of it being on his non-throwing arm, it hasn't affected him too much. But I mean, kudos to him, as first pitch Flock sees is going to be grounded softly to his counterpart over at first base, and that's 2 quick outs for the Grenadiers. But we've been here before. Yes. 2 outs and Colin Long up, and see if they can have some of the same type of success and manufacture a couple runs with a couple outs already away. Starting to see that breaking ball come back out for Casper. Haven't really seen it as much in the last couple innings. That one smoked down the line. And it's going to get foul as Colin Long trying to turn on one and get one the old-fashioned way.
Oh, he turned on it, just couldn't keep it fair.
One count for Long. And it's going to be a chopper, but Ross comes in to make the play, and they'll retire the Grenadiers in order. So we head to the top of the 7th. Score remains 5-0 IU Southeast. Shortstop for IUC, Peyton Blinn, lead things off in the top of the 7th. As we hit that final third of the game, see if Schaefer can continue to push successfully as we finally have some kind of motion in either bullpen. And it is in the IUC bullpen.
There may be somebody rustling around over in the Grenadier bullpen too, but I can't tell if he's just standing there or if he's actually starting to get loose.
Yeah, good changeup has Blinn out in his front foot there. So it'll be 1-2 to the Crimson Pride shortstop. Good fastball high, but Blinn checks his swing. Yeah, I think there's just some people standing down in the Grenadier bullpen, but that could mean they're down there stretching or something, getting loose. And a great change up there by Luke Schaefer will get Peyton Blinn to start off the 7th. Haven't seen a ton of change-ups from Schaefer, but that's one, a plus pitch for him, and that one was one of his best ones.
And he is on the rubber, ready to go. He is locked in and just dealing at the moment. Very confident.
That is when Schaefer generally has his best success, is when he's working quick. And he finds himself quickly ahead to Codner here 0-2.
And it's interesting how methodical he is warming up. He definitely he's the one starter who takes his time. If it's a Luke Schaefer game, he's going to take right down to the game time before he gets out ready to go. But once he's locked in, he just is rapid fire.
1-2 pitch. Cut on and missed. Power fastball right by Codner. So back-to-back strikeouts to start things off in the 7th for Luke Schaefer. And that'll bring up the slugger third baseman Jared Ross. That one's hit high. Kind of in the sun. I don't think anyone really saw it well to start, but flock over there into the puddle, and that's going to get down. So
you never like to hear into the puddle.
Yeah, that's going to create some wet socks.
You got to navigate the guys in the bullpen. The bullpen dirt over there, a puddle. Like there's just a lot happening over there for Flock and Burdett.
Yes. That one really just landed right on the other side of the bullpen mound, which is currently occupied. So, like you said, a lot of traffic, not the easiest of foul balls to go and get.
A little obstacle course.
As Ross shows bunt this time, pulls back as that one's low, but maybe trying to catch Shields sleeping over at third. Yeah. Ross putting together a good at-bat, staying alive. 1-2 pitch from Schaefer. Good change up, so he's going to strike out the side. Great inning there from Luke Schaefer, and we head to the bottom of the 7th. Score remains 5-0 IU Southeast. It'll be the designated hitter, Trevor Goodwin, leading off for IU Southeast, as Clark back out again. Where's his pitch count sitting, Steven?
65 pitches entering the 7th.
So even though there's been a couple crooked numbers, there's been relatively quick innings, as first pitch, just like the others, be a one pitch out for Clark. So he's very economical so far, even though he finds himself trailing by 5. Just kind of good changeup or something off speed there to get Goodwin out in front, and now it'll be Slater Shield. Slater's done a good job in that 9 spot today. As, I mean, really the bottom of the order for the Grenadiers, responsible for all 5 runs. Not quite sure how that one misses Slater, but it does. So he will just go ahead and the count 2-0.
And he's such a good threat at this bottom of the lineup. He can put together good at-bats. He's got good speed. And again, that second leadoff hitter here.
Off the hands a little bit, jam shot. Drops down again. Second time we've seen that. That one in there for a strike.
I like to see him do that a little more often. They've been very effective pitches so far for him.
See what he does here, 2-2. Good job by Shield to just throw that into right, and that's going to be a base knock. So just a single, as Fee's able to get that in quickly, but the Grenadiers find themselves with a base runner here with one away in the 7th. And the lineup now turns back over to Ethan Burdett.
See how quickly Shields off and running here. It may be wonder if it's pretty early here in this at bat. Grenadiers try and add on
Clark
another
done
runner.
a good job relatively like that, having a nice move, quick feet, trying to control the running game as much as he can. It's all about finding the times to run and, sometimes getting a little lucky, pitch selection, all the different variables that can go into it. And that one, traditional balk move, and you're hearing it from first base coach Greg Opel out there, as that's one of the exploits of a two-man crew. That one hit into the gap, but kind of fading towards Fee, and he's get burned. They're going to be down and off to the races as Shield. So that's going to be a RBI double for Ethan Burdett. That's the second time today. Just seen something just get right behind Fee, as he's playing a relatively shallow right field, and I think in that situation with Burdett, it's maybe a little more understanding, but Burdett's got a little juice.
I also don't think he got a good jump either. He didn't see the ball off the bat, and that just burned him because the route wasn't great.
And you do have that sun to deal with when you're on the right half of the field as well, so that probably plays a part of it. And that one's hit high and far, and that's going to be running for Fee and out of here. Mason White with his team-leading 15th homer of the year, and those will be RBIs 57 and 58 for the senior from Evansville, Indiana, as that one, Stephen, was absolutely smoked.
Launched out of here by Mason White. And all of a sudden, Grenadiers have tacked on 3 more runs here in the 7th, and it's an 8-0 lead.
And it looks like that may do it for Casper Clark, as we're going to have a new pitcher. See if we can get number 33 appears. So new pitcher for IUC will be Blake Nigg, junior from Mooresville, Indiana. And we'll be back in just a moment as he goes through his warm-up pitches, as the Grenadiers take a 8-0 lead now here in the bottom of the 7th. Luke Powell's your hitter, and the first hitter that will face the new pitcher for IU Columbus, Blake Nigg. He'll get in there for a strike.
1-2 on the season, 8.22 ERA in 23 innings pitched. He's got an opponent batting average of 287, 14 walks, 14 strikeouts.
One of the pitchers that Scott Bickle uses regularly, as he does have double-digit appearances on the year. That's a good breaking ball in there for a called strike to Powell. The 1-2. That one's hit high. It's got a chance, but doesn't have enough. Back on the track. Out of here. Luke Powell. His third homer of the year. RBI number 24, and this lead is now at 9 for the Grenadiers.
Just golfed out of here by Powell. Sends it over the right field fence right around where Mason White hit his, and back-to-back jacks for IU Southeast.
Yeah, that one a little more down the line, but about as in that same area code. And very few people can put it in the same area code as Mason White, but Luke Powell did a good job there as the retrieval crew already out there. As that one may have, someone's coming from across Grenadier Drive, Stephen. So I don't know if that one maybe caught the street and bounced, but that was absolutely smoked as well.
Hey, as far as I know, that was on the fly across the street.
Good bounce back pitch there from Nigg as he will get ahead of Cody Putnam. Good breaking ball. He's quickly ahead 0-2. Still just one out for the Grenadiers. The 0-2 pitch. That one's hit high. Going to be Blynn's ball, and he'll make the catch. So that'll be the second out. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter here in the form of Casey Brown. Casey, the junior from Louisville, Kentucky. Watches a strike there. Has kind of cemented himself as actually, getting more of a traditional backup catching type role. We talked about it in our last game. Grenadiers really haven't had that in, the last 7-8 years. It's really been a one-man show behind the plate, whether it be the form of Ben Berenda, Brody Tanksley, Tanner Linkneck, or Trent Simpson. So much more of a traditional tandem, even though Logan Murphy still getting the lion's share of the work. Casey Brown has done a really good job in that role. I'll swing through that one. The 2-2 pitch. Good breaking ball, but swing is checked, and a good job there by Guire to corral that one. Full counts, 2 out. And the pitch. That one chopped. Gonna have to get rid of it. No throw, so that'll be an infield hit for Casey Brown. As it looks like the Grenadiers tried to sneak in a courtesy runner there, but Roger correctly stops them, as even if he is going in to be the catcher and will be, he is not the catcher of record yet, so he does not get the courtesy runner benefits.
Good umpiring there by Roger, folks.
Braden Hazelwood gets his first at-bat. And it looks like Hazy's hitting for Flock. And he's quickly behind 0-2. That one smoked, giving chase and making the catch is Barker, as that one was hit right on the screws by Hazelwood, but Barker will track that down as we'll head to the top of the 8th. Grenadiers' lead grows to 9, and the score is 9-0 Grenadiers. We'll head to the top of the 8th here in a moment. Grenadiers make a couple defensive changes. Both pinch hitters we saw in the previous inning will stay in at the respective positions. Casey Brown takes over the catching duties, as Braden Hazelwood will stay in for Flock at first base. So Hazelwood sticking to that true utility tag, as seen him in about 4 or 5 different positions this year. At home, first is a new one for him this year at least. He got a little stint there last year, but have yet to see him there. And the new pitcher for IU Southeast, Oscar Welsh, blows a fastball by Colin Fee to get his day started.
Only his, 7th appearance on the season for Oscar. 5 1/3 innings, no record, a 3.38 ERA, 3 strikeouts, 5 walks. Opponent batting average of 125.
That's another good fastball. Cut on and missed by Fee, as Oscar would love to retire the leadoff and get his day started well. Check swing into the dugout. Watch out.
Keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah, caught the slanted roof and just kind of pinballed around there. Cut on and missed. Power fastball, strike 3. So a good start to the day for Oscar Welsh, as he picks up his 4th strikeout of the year. And he'll face the backstop for the Crimson Pride, Ethan Guire. Doesn't get the call there, so that'll miss for a ball inside. 1-0. That one's hit well, giving chase is White. Going back off his glove. A good effort there, but that's going to be extra bases for Guire. So a 1-out double puts someone in scoring position for IUC. See if we have a courtesy runner, and we will. It'll be number 6, Aiden Hapner. So Columbus getting I guess, an offensive look that they haven't had in quite a few innings.
Finally get a runner in scoring position, and now Seeger's got a shot to knock him in and get the Crimson Pride on the board here in the 8th.
Welsh falls behind Seegers rather. So this is a big spot for a pitcher like Oscar Welsh that, as you said, hasn't pitched a ton this year. And as you get to the final week of the regular season, the roster gets shrunk to 26 next week, right? So an opportunity to make a case to make the postseason roster. That one's going to be down the line, and the Crimson Pride are going to get on the board. So it'll be a RBI double for Seegers, and IUC cuts into the deficit. Score now 9-1.
Just pulls that down the line, and they trade places here, and it's a RBI double for Seeger, so a nice piece of hitting there for him. 9-1, IU Southeast.
Brings up the 9 hole. Breaking ball in there for called strike to Barker. Bunt attempt, and that's a good one. That's going to be a tough play, and Welsh falls down, and no one able to make a play, as that was going to be a tough one anyway. So bunt base hit for Barker, and that's going to turn it to the top of the order for Sutton.
So the Crimson Pride getting something going. That's a nice, well-placed bunt there. A tough play for both Shield and for Welsh coming off the mound to try and make that play. Now runners at the corners.
Yeah, likely to see Brevin Barker taken off. Good slide step from Welsh. Keeps him at bay. Big lead over there for Barker. But back in plenty of time. Especially with the catalyst at the top like Wyatt Sutton. Be interesting to see what kind of action Scott Bickle's going to put on. Maybe could be just straight steal, hit and run. A lot of options. They'll go with nothing, as that evens it up at 1-1. Another breaking ball. Misses outside, so big spot for Oscar Welsh. That one's in off the hands, and that's going to be a tough play, and Colin Long not going to get there as that one lands on the warning track in foul territory anyway. So thought with the, I don't want to say recklessness, but the all-out effort that is generally given by Colin Long, I thought a dive straight into some standing water was very likely there, Steve.
Just float around, try and make the catch.
2-2 pitch to Sutton. That one fouled off, and off on the pitch was Barker, but he'll have to return to first. Quick move from Welsh, but still back in time. Another 2-2. Foul ball. So that may have caught a piece of all three of them, but definitely two of the three. Good challenge pitch inside there by Oscar. And a good job by Sutton to stay alive.
Good battle here, just trying to put the ball in play here and find a way to get this runner from third in.
And Sutton's going to run it full. I think there's a good chance we may see Barker off and running, even with just one out. And that one, good effort there by Putnam. He's going to make a strong throw, double play. What an effort by Cody Putnam to get Oscar out of it, and the Grenadiers will keep their lead at 8 as an absolute web gem by Cody Putnam. And Steven, I don't know if I've ever seen such a quick transfer throw, strong throw over to first base on a full layout dive.
That was just to make that catch and then get back up and make a strong throw in time. That's a remarkable play by Putnam.
So some fantastic defense for the Grenadiers will send us to the bottom of the 8th. Crimson Pride find themselves with their first run, however, so the score now 9-1, Grenadiers. First pitch to Colin Long is going to be chopped and fielded cleanly by Wyatt Sutton with a strong throw. So one pitch and one out for Blake Nigg. As there are a couple changes for IU Columbus. In left field now is number 7, Johnny Sewell. And we also have a new center fielder. Try to get a number on that for you in just a second. As Trevor Goodwin finds himself ahead in the count, 2-0. And that one's going to catch the zone. Trying to figure out some of the defensive changes, so our apologies. But walk drawn there by Trevor Goodwin. So I think the center fielder now for IU Columbus is number 16, Will Lewis. And that'll bring up Slater Shield. That one's just going to miss on the outside part to Shield, as bottom of the lineup going to try to keep their good day going. Good breaking ball there, but that one will miss low. The 2-0 pitch. That one hit short, fielded by Blinn, and then a strong throw by Sutton in time. So a 6-4-3 GDP for IU Columbus, and we'll head to the final frame. Grenadiers looking to close this one out as they lead this one 9-1. New pitcher for IU Southeast will be number 20, Zach Guttermuth.
Making his 7th appearance of the season. He's worked 12 1/3 innings and is 1-2 on the season. 7 walks, 7 strikeouts in 12 1/3 innings pitched.
He'll get the chance to close this one down for the Grenadiers, and he'll have to do so by starting with the meat of this Crimson Pride order. Slogger, Blinn, and Codden are due up. And the first pitch to Slogger will miss low and inside. Huge hack there by the designated hitter for IUC.
Interesting approach here. You need base runners if you're the Crimson Pride. The wild swing's probably not what you want.
And a good two-seam action in on the hands of Slogger there. Makes count 1 and 2. That one in off the hands as well, but Slogger does a good job to stay alive. That one rolled over to Burdett, fielded, and throw in plenty of time. So leadoff man retired for Zach Guttermuth as the Crimson Pride down to 2 outs now. But if they're going to make a rally, they're in the spot they want to be in with the heart of their order. So 3-hole hitter. Shortstop Peyton Blinn will get another opportunity. Had a pretty quiet day thus far. Love to turn that around. Another healthy swing.
I guess they could chip away with a bunch of solo home runs.
That one off the end over to Burdett as well. Fielded cleanly and in time. So good job by Guttermuth so far. Retires the first 2 men he sees. And now we'll have the left fielder, John Codner. Good pitch there from Guttermuth. Gets a swing and miss. Guttermuth working quickly. Codner's going to step out for a second after the foul ball. And Guttermuth is ready to deliver the pitch. Cut on and missed. Good block by Casey Brown, and that's going to do it. Great inning there from Guttermuth to shut it down, and the Grenadiers are going to win this one. Final score 9-1. So the Grenadiers will take the first game of this conference series this weekend. Like I said, a final score of 9-1. Your winning pitcher will be Luke Schaefer. He moves to 7-2 on the year. And that is going to be the 3rd loss for Casper Clark, who, honestly, Stephen, really turned in a good performance. So, moves to 0-3. So the Grenadiers' record advances 26-15, and they move to 18-4 in conference play. IUC drops to 10-38 and 2-20 in River State's play, as it's a good start to senior weekend for the Grenadiers. The single 9 today, and then tomorrow will be the doubleheader day, as the Senior Day festivities start tomorrow at 11:15. First pitch for the first game will be at noon. It's a busy weekend for the Grenadiers, as the softball team will also celebrate their Senior Day tomorrow as well. Their festivities will begin at 12:15 with a first pitch at 1 o'clock across the street. So if you have the opportunity to get out to Cutter Sports Complex tomorrow and celebrate our seniors that have put in a lot of time, effort, and have had a lot of success here in a Grenadier uniform. But for Stephen Oots, I'm Kyle Hawkins, and that's going to do it for us today, as the Grenadiers take game 1 of this weekend series 9-1, and we'll see you all tomorrow for Senior Day.